on that field today, ask yourself this question.
What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's go! We ready! We ready! We ready! We ready! And let's go to the house! And let's go to the house!
When I step on the field, I send one message. And this is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. Football is getting hit. That's it.
It's gonna be football now. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's hunt now. Let's hunt now. Let's go. Let's hunt. We ready? And let's go to the house. And let's go to the house.
We're talking about the Jets like we're talking about the Saints. You know, all this, how we the Miami Heat of football. Yeah. The bottom line is you got to buckle up your chin strap. It's embarrassing. Yeah. Don't disrespect the game like that. There's too much crying from them. He's a man. They can be hit just like us. He's a man. You already make the big money. He's a man. Don't cry when you step on the field, man. That's war out there. When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. Oh, my bad. Your bad don't work in my world.
What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We ready? And let's go to the house. And let's go to the house. It's a wrap. Game over.
No, game is far from over. In fact, we are just getting the news, if you will, that Deshaun Watson's decision or settlement has been reached. I'll share that with you in a second, but let me set the table. It is the lunch break powered by JM&E, streaming live on Roku TV, courtesy of BS3 TV. That's right. If you got a Roku streaming device, you want to download BS3 TV, and you will have programming out of this world. All right. As I said, just as we come on the air, we've got breaking news that Deshaun Watson and the NFL, or let me say Deshaun Watson, his legal team, and the NFL Players Association have negotiated and agreed to Deshaun Watson accepting an 11-game suspension and paying a $5 million fine. 11-game suspension and paying a $5 million fine. He will also go a psychiatric evaluation. He will follow whatever treatment plan or therapy that they deem is necessary from a professional psychiatric community or professional. And again, that has been brought in just as we've come on the air. So Deshaun Watson is going to be suspended for 11 games. Interestingly enough, the game he'll be back for will be right here in Houston versus the team that traded him away, the Houston Texans, on December the 4th. So, but again, he will pay a $5 million fine, and he will have to go a professional evaluation and undergo professional treatment, therapy, whatever the case may be. Kris Gardner, Houston Roundball Review, joins me as we just get this breaking news. Kris, I know you the basketball man, but I also know you a brother who is well-breathed in a lot of different things. What are your thoughts? What are your feelings about this judgment that is final now? This settlement is final. No more appeals. No more, we didn't like it, so let's do this. This is done.
My initial thought was, I was right. I was right.
Okay.
I said it would be 11 games, and the game he could come back for would be against the Texans. I said that. I think I said it on this show. I said it on Folks Talking Sports. I've said it for a while that the NFL would be petty like this and do this. So,
boy, you better go ahead and shake your tail feather. You better go ahead and get it. I was wrong. I thought that the NFL was going to get what they wanted. I thought Roger Goodell was going to get what he wanted. I thought it was going to be 11 games and that would be it. And I thought it would be 17 games and that would be it. We would see Deshaun Watson training camp, spring training next season.
And your logic was legit. But again, and let me be clear, the reason I said what I said was I believe the NFL would be petty and want the NFL, the TV ratings for that matchup. And lo and behold, their pettiness shines through. So here we are. Go figure.
Yeah, well, I mean, again, I can't argue with your logic because it turned out to be. Quick shout out to Keith Hennick and quick shout out to Ben Sutter III, the man behind BS3 TV. They got me one of these hot sizzle reels, brother. I love it. In fact, I'm not trying to promote my show, but I'll play it just so people can see it. But yeah, man.
Let me say, we're going to get back to talk about Deshaun in a second.
All right.
I like the logo there, man. The lunch break and BS3. I'm telling you, I'm getting that itch, man. Before the year's over, Ben, we might be talking again, brother. I'm just saying, I'm getting that itch. So we'll see how it goes, and I might bring my youngster along with me too, Andy Yanez as well. So who knows, man?
Well, let me do you a solid. I'm going to talk with you immediately following the show about an opportunity to do that with BS3. I'll talk to you immediately following the show. All right.
All right. Sounds good. Look forward to it.
Yeah. So again, man, this has been the news that everybody was waiting for. When I did my updates on the station that contracts me to do that, I said today that we should know something in the next couple of days. I thought it was going to be a Friday news dump because the NFL might not have gotten everything that they were asking for. The arbitrator selected by Roger Goodell, former Attorney General of New Jersey, was literally holding his ruling based on them negotiating. And Jeff Saturday, formerly with the Indianapolis Colts, Super Bowl winning person with the Indianapolis Colts, Willie Gibson's dialing in. Let me get him in as well. We got Willie Gibson joining us from Columbus, Ohio, broadcaster journalist there, and very well breathed on all of this. He covers Cleveland. He covers the NFL and other sports. So, Willie, you there? Yeah. Okay, let me make sure I got a little more volume on you. All right, you meet Kris Gardner on the show. I'm trying to get my mics ready and all this. But Jeff Saturday said something very interesting. Jeff Saturday said that these type of negotiations generally go like this. The arbitrator will sit down with both sides and say, I've made my decision. And NFL, you're not going to like it. And Deshaun Watson's camp, you're not going to like it. So your best bet is to settle it, because if I rule, it's going to be painful for both sides. So that would have told me the NFL was not going to get 17 games and that Deshaun was not going to stay at 6. So go ahead, Willie, jump in here with us.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Peter C. Harvey made his decision, and he was waiting on the negotiations between the PA and the league that reached impasse before he ruled. And based on, as you said, and neither one of the parties being pleased with it, they came to agreement on their own, and he said, okay, let's go with it.
Yeah. And, here we are. I did catch part of the interview with Deshaun Watson that was carried by the mothership. One thing Deshaun has not moved off on is his innocence. Deshaun has said, I'm innocent, but I have settled. I made the apology, and I made this settlement so that we can move on. I can move on with my life. I can move on with my career. I don't know how well that's going to be received, but I can't be mad at anybody for making the decision to do that. And like you said, that does not imply guilt. So, Kris, you go first. Your thoughts about Deshaun Watson's statements there.
I need to hear the press conference because two tweets like 30 seconds apart. One was, I take responsibility for my actions. I apologize for what I did. And then 30 seconds later, I'm innocent. So I don't know. I need to see it because I don't know folks tweeting what they heard, what they thought they heard, whatever. So because I got a tweet from a friend right a minute ago. Deshaun had taken no responsibility for what he did whatsoever. So I don't know what to say. Yeah. I mean, he says he's innocent. Then he said, well, I apologize for what I did. Okay, so I'm just going to reserve judgment until I watch the press conference.
I got you. Willie Gibson, your thoughts about what you heard?
Sure. What he did was he apologized for his decision making. So he admitted that he made poor decisions in the things that he's done in the past. So based on that and the rest of it, he maintains his innocence because he truly believes he's innocent. And who am I to say he isn't? I mean, 2 grand juries found insufficient evidence to proceed, but here we are. So, you know, for whatever it's worth, I think up here it's more so relief that, you know, the situation is seemingly over and everyone can move forward. You know, now the part of the settlement is there's $7 million, the $5 million fine that Deshaun will pay, in addition to the league and the Haslam family also contributing $1 million each to education as far as sexual assault and what it means and how to prevent it in the future. So that's part of the settlement as well. But as far as, you know, him and maintaining his innocence, you know, if he truly believes he's done nothing wrong, as I said, I made bad decisions, and maybe my decisions could have been, you know, better. You know, but that's what I have to go with.
Yeah, you know, and as Kris was talking about the different tweets or messages that he's received, you know, multiple things can be true at the same time. You know, he can maintain his innocence, and he can take responsibility or not take responsibility. So multiple things can be true at the same time. I think that there are people out there that are listening for everything, period, and they're going to go to the opposite end. If he said, I apologize, it means he's guilty. If he doesn't apologize, he's not taking responsibility for his actions. He's not showing any remorse. The fact that he settled means he was trying to cover up guilt and silence the women. Where, mind you, the NFL itself settled out of court with Eric Reed, Colin Kaepernick. They've even settled with other people on other things. Disney has settled out of court multiple times. You've got some of our most well-known actors and songwriters and musicians that settle out of court to limit their exposure and to move on with their situation. Doesn't mean guilt. It's just most people don't understand the legal processes and the way that those two, you know, things jostle back and forth to just make it go away.
And I agree with Ben's comment right here. Folks may not like it. You know, Deshaun he did not commit a crime. Poor judgment, no question, you know, through and through. But he was not found guilty of a crime.
Well, and Willie, I want to throw this out to you as well. I think it's unfair to try to have it both ways. There are people who believe you can indict a ham sandwich. That's the exact terminology. You can indict a ham sandwich with a grand jury, but for some reason, when it comes to sexual assault, sexual misconduct, they claim that it is almost impossible to bring back an indictment. Which one is it? Is it a ham sandwich or is it impossible to do?
Exactly. If that's the case, why would intelligent legal minds bring it before 2 grand juries? If you're telling me it's impossible to do, but yet 2 separate district attorneys brought it before grand juries. So, as you said, which one is it? Because if you're telling me you have no chance of being successful, then why'd you do it?
Yeah.
And then
go ahead.
And then you can't say I'll do it, and then when they don't find in your favor, then say, oh well, you know, it's almost impossible to find, you know, secure an indictment. Well, why? Then again, why even go through the process?
Yeah, I want to throw another piece in there, not to take attention away from the women who deserve justice, not to take away from Deshaun Watson, who made horrible decisions. But if we're just going to shrug it off that it is almost impossible to get an indictment when sexual assault or misconduct is alleged, then that tells me somebody needs to put more effort into changing the system. We raise our voice for dogs.
Bingo.
We raise our voice for, you know, things that matter to us. But you mean to tell me we want to be outraged when folks believe that the system is skewed against the women? Then you got to do better. You got to do more than that. You cannot just post. You cannot just tweet. You cannot just tear up your jersey and tear up your season tickets and all that and swear you are an ally. You need to be making phone calls. You need to be protesting in front of some of these courthouses, what have you, to make sure that anybody in this situation, men and women, kids included, get justice when there's sexual misconduct and sexual assault. Let me read this. Cole Sports, who is the baddest man in the business. Cole said the final Deshaun Watson ruling is simple. With the NFL, money talks and everything else walks. So, I'm going to take a quick break. When we come back, I want to talk about this. Is this the NFL in their own way trying to make it look like they fought as hard as they could and didn't get what they wanted, but they tried? Now they can go to their sponsors, they can go to their women's groups, and they say, hey, listen, we did the best we could. I've got Willie Gibson on the JM&E phone line. I've got Kris Gardner, Houston Roundball Review, joining me on camera right here live on the lunch break, powered by JM&E, streaming live on Roku, courtesy of BS3. Cole Sports, you are the man, and let me show you why I say that. Here's Cole Sports.
Are you looking for something to do on your lunch break? Well, there's a show on the BS3 network that has only 4 words to say to you.
We ready. We ready. We ready for y'all. We ready. We ready. We ready for y'all.
The Lunch Break with AJ, powered by JM&E. Live weekdays at noon Central.
Man, it don't get no hotter than that. And Cole did that for me because he's got a hot one as well. I'll play that in my next break. But y'all can't tell me nothing. Can't nobody tell me nothing after that sizzle reel right there. Willie, you on the phone line. Try to say something. I'm listening.
That's fire, bro. That's all I'm gonna say. That's fire.
Okay, man. But I don't hear no love in your heart, man. I don't hear no love.
I got one issue.
What's your issue, man? Hold on. Let me rub my forehead. Go ahead with your issue.
I mean, that's on point, man. That is a awesome spot.
Mm-hmm.
But
what?
Freestyle Friday.
What, man?
The dude they use for Freestyle Friday.
Yep.
That owner, that man who has destroyed a franchise.
Yeah. They
could have used somebody else for Freestyle Friday. Than that.
There's a reason. There's a reason. I threatened to jump on everyone's show and bombard them if I didn't get a sizzle reel as hot as Cole's. And I said, and if I don't get one, I'm going to have a big fat meme of him kissing the BS3 logo. So as a little dig at me, they put that on the end. That's all. Ain't no love for him. I'll pop him in his forehead if I see him, if he get off that boat.
Because okay, thank you, Cole. I appreciate it. All right. Put that up there.
Yeah, no. That's what I'm saying. He knew, I knew, we knew. Now everybody else knows. See, that was one of the things I was supposed to, in my last breath, say. And the reason why they used that image on Freestyle Friday was because, and you'll never know. Y'all get to make it up.
Okay, because I try to be observant as I get older. All 4 of my eyes. So
my boys done out.
That.
My guys, man, the dudes I run with, man.
I saw that and I was like, that dude right there.
Oh.
Man, the stuff I like to do with that man can't be put on his air.
Well, okay, so you jumped ahead of me, Willie, and I want to get to that too. Let's tease it before the break. Let me ask you: is the NFL trying to save face by settling for 11 games and a $5 million fine and therapy counseling ongoing? Can they now go to the sponsors that were threatening to pull out? Can they go to the women's groups who are threatening to make the NFL's life more miserable than it's ever been in its history? Can they now go to them and say, listen, we tried, this is what we came back with?
They can and they will.
Go ahead, Kris.
My fault, Willie, but folks smarter than me suggested that's what the NFL would do. We tried, we fought hard, we were pushing for a full season. Well, we got 11 games, and he's going to go to counseling, he's going to pay a fine. So we did everything we could. So please forgive us and please keep sending those checks.
Okay. Willie, what you thought?
Yeah, I mean, on paper, that's what they're going to do regardless. But I mean, I'm interested. We'll never know. I'm interested in what Peter Harvey's decision was, because for them to agree to go from 17 to 12 to 11, they must have been fearful that he reduced it to 3. That's the only thing I can think of. Because if you're in the seat of power, so to speak, so you think, and you decide to because initially it wasn't 17, it was indefinite.
Right. It was indefinite. You're absolutely right.
To apply after 17 games. So for them to say, we'll go all the way down to 11, they must think that Peter C. Harvey was going to come. I don't know. That's the only thing I think of. We'll never know what his actual decision was.
And you're right. Fair point.
That's interesting to me.
Yeah, fair point, Willie. To your point, I'm hearing that it was going to be somewhere around 8 or 9, not the 6, not the 17 or indefinite, round 8 or 9. So let's get 11, $5 million, and get out of here.
But see, now the pettiness comes in with the TV ratings.
Hey,
why not 12?
Hey.
Hold on now.
Y'all taking me too. I forgot. I got the OG. I got the young gun. I'm stuck in the middle somewhere. Y'all taking me too fast. I'm gonna get to that in a second. Now forget that. This is my show. I'll get to that right now. Producers, hush. I'm getting to that right now. It's interesting that they came up with a nice round number of 11. Because that 11th game, or that next game, is on December the 4th in Houston, Texas, against the team that traded him away, where this all started, where many folks believe that had he decided to stay and play, all of this would have went away. Rhyme, boy. Rhyme. Willie, you go first. What are your thoughts? Is this pettiness? Is this TV ratings? Is this about the Benjamins? What's the deal?
None of the above.
Okay.
None of the above.
All right.
In order to get credit for the accrued season in the NFL, you have to play 6 games.
All right.
That's why Deshaun was adamant about not taking 12, because he would play 5 games.
Would play 5 games.
Not gotten credit for the accrued season. So with an 11-game suspension, he gets 6 games. He gets credit for the accrued season.
Okay. See, sometimes I love you and sometimes I can't stand you because you be knowledgeable like crazy, man. We try to be messy and petty and dirty, and then you come in all logical and making sense and stuff like that. He tried to get his accrual. Yep. Okay. All right. Keith Hennig, I found the answer out. His question, will Deshaun Watson be allowed to practice with the team? He will. In fact, he can fully start practicing on November the 14th. So that gives him quite a bit of time to get ready for Houston in Houston. And trust me, who I sound like, Willie, trust me, he's not going to look like he did in the opening preseason game against Jacksonville. And I don't care how raucous the Houston fans are. All right. Kris, you think they were being petty?
Will's answer makes great sense. That's why he's a smart brother. And he's on the show and part of Folk Talking Sports, man. With that knowledge, dropping those gems. That makes sense. That's right on point.
It ain't time for you to promote your show. To be trying
but that's the pettiness part of me. I just like, hey. But it's good news. Deshaun get that season, accrue that season. So, yep, that makes sense. Makes sense to me.
Right. So let me just say this. sometimes multiple things can be true at the same time. What do I sound like?
Yeah.
A broken record. Folks don't know nothing about them records where you had to put that nickel on top of the.
Let me be petty this way. When they were making the schedule months ago, well, you know what? We probably gonna settle for 11 games. So week 12, we can make Texans at Browns at Texans. So yeah, let's do it that way.
Man,
they could have planned this months ago. Drama.
Hold on, Chris. Go ahead, Willie.
Listen to that. I mean, the NFL controls the schedule. They could have played the Houston game week 3.
Yeah.
Covered by suspension no matter what. So that's why they didn't understand. They were so adamant about 12 not wanting to play Houston. Right, you make the schedule. Make this Houston game week 5.
All right. That leads me into my next question. On the phone line, we got Will Gibson, broadcast journalist, Columbus, Ohio, covers the Cleveland Browns. We got Kris Gardner, Houston Roundball Review, but my brother is well-rounded in everything. Trust me when I say that. Is Roger Goodell the Teflon Don? Is he the one that nothing seems to stick to them? Why does Roger get away with, in many cases, ineptitude, in some cases, a pharaoh mentality? He's got the judge, jury, and executioner. Nothing seems to stick to Roger Goodell. Willie, you go first.
He's backed by $31 billion.
Yeah.
He takes the shots no one else wants to.
Yeah. And they pay him well for it.
Exactly.
You and Cole Sport, I'm gonna have to have you two on. Maybe we'll do a foursome, man. We'll get Cole on.
That's my thought too, right there.
Yeah.
All 3 of us. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I got to get Willie when he.
Doing?
Huh?
What are we doing?
Well, I'm getting you, me, Kris Gardner, and Cole.
Okay, yeah, we can. I'll take that.
Yeah.
Don't mind me. Just keep it going. Just keep talking.
Yeah.
Don't mind me. Keep talking.
Yeah, and then King Doc will come and bless us. He'll come and bless us. King Doc, Queen 3, and King Podcast. So I guess that's it. When you got 31 billionaires, and the only reason why we don't say 32 is because Green Bay is owned by the community, technically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so 31 billionaires backing you up. Yeah, you kind of are untouchable until they decide you are.
Correct.
Exactly.
Yeah, because he's still making them a lot of money. Yeah. All right. So any final closing remarks on this Deshaun Watson thing, past, present, or future? Could have handled it better, should have done this, should be doing this going forward. Willie, you go first.
Absolutely could have handled it better. Stay off Instagram looking for a massage therapist. Listen to your circle, or get a circle around you that you're going to listen to, that knows the game. And then at the end of the day, now hopefully going forward, starting with December 4th, not even December 4th, because it's not going to start with December 4th. It's actually going to start December 11th, because December 4th, that week is going to be rehashed.
Right.
29 times. So I can't even say starting with December 4th. So starting the week after.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just move forward.
Yeah.
Hopefully, who knows what position on the field the Browns will be in. Do they stick with Jacoby Brissett the entire time? Do they call San Francisco perhaps for Jimmy Garoppolo? Who knows? But, hopefully this is step one, hopefully, of everyone being able to move forward.
Yeah. I'm gonna come back to you because you said something that made me think about something real quick. Let me read Cole Sports' comments. Deshaun should be throwing a party. He gets to play in 2022, but I hope he learns from this mistake and mature from such a practice. No arguments there, bro. No arguments there. Kris Gardner, your thoughts, past, present, future.
Deshaun has to do better, learn from his mistakes. But I don't want to. I'm not gonna be crass, but there was a way he could handle this, and nobody would have known about it. Okay, he could have done this because some of this stuff been going on for years. All right, let's be realistic. Now, he went about it the high tech future way. Come on, man. Instagram this stuff. Come on. He could have done better if he wanted to do all that kind of stuff. Should have done better. Learn from it. Be a better person. Take the counseling sessions serious.
Seriously, right.
So you can become a better person and learn from that as well. Learn from those, listen to those folks, and get better as a person, because that's important as well, not just you as a quarterback.
Yeah. Couple things before we wrap this up. To Willie, hey, Kevin Stefanski gonna have to coach his butt off. If Kevin Stefanski is that dude, we finna find out. We getting ready to find out. Whether it be Jacoby Brissett, whether it be Josh Dobbs, whether it be, Jimmy Garoppolo. I think his job will be a little bit easier with Jimmy because, Jimmy's got that, that big game seasoning, but he's going to have to coach. And we'll have to find out if it was all the former quarterback or if some of that was Stefanski. And I believe it's the latter, not the former.
Here's the thing about Jimmy Garoppolo, no one is really focused on. Yes, he has the big game experience. Yes, all of that. Is he healthy? Do we know if he's healthy?
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know. Yeah, we don't know.
So I say that to say, and then it's now, today is August 18th?
Yeah.
August 19th?
Yeah.
August 18th. Right, the season starts September 11th. Yeah, he's running the system before, but he has no time on the field with Amari Cooper, Donovan Peoples-Jones, Anthony Schwartz, Nick Chubb. So, all that to say, I'm just not. It's easy to say, yeah, Jimmy Garoppolo's going to come in here and right the ship and hold down the fort. No, not really. No, I'm just not convinced to say that.
Yeah.
So, I think Jacoby Brissett, I think he'll be fine. He's a backup for a reason. I think he can hold it down for 11 games, especially with Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, and Jerome Ford. That's the key.
We got it. I got it. Willie, stay right there for a second. I got to give shout out to Casual Highlight, Al High. He said the same thing you're saying, Willie. He said Brown's going to have to run that ball. And you just named their entire backfield. They got to hand that baby off to each and every one of them.
Right. So Kareem Hunt, he's committed to a hold in right now with, his shenanigans and what he's doing. Last year was deal. We get it. He wants to get paid. But the opportunity is there for him to be featured, even in a backup role, the first 11 games, or 6, now 11 games. Kareem Hunt, they'll make an adjustment, add a little sweetener to his deal, put a couple, $3, $4, $5, maybe $1 million in his pocket for the last year's deal. But where else at this point in the season? Where else is he going to go and be able to get the touches that he's going to get the first 11 games?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll see how all that plays out. But again, for those who are just joining us, we're talking about the Deshaun Watson settlement that was handled by his legal team, the NFL Players Association, and the NFL. 11 games suspension, $5 million fine, evaluation by medical professionals from the clinical side, from the therapeutic side, if you will, and whatever counseling treatment they outlined, he must go through it. So Deshaun Watson's first game back will be December 4th against the Houston Texans here in Houston. He can start practicing with the team full-born on November the 14th. All right, gentlemen, anything else you want to add? Willie Gibson.
Yeah, so I'm just doing the numbers here. So he's missing $57,500 per game. But the 11 games, $632,500. Included the $5 billion fine is $5.6 million. Had this been next year, when the salary goes to $46 million, he'll be missing about $16.7 million. So it benefited him in more ways than one to getting it done this year. And to this point, Cleveland didn't set the contract up, anticipating him being suspended and losing less money. It benefits them not to pay him that $46 million next year. So can we just please stop that narrative as well? That
I'm glad you brought it up. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying I'm glad you brought it up because there are people that are just hell bent on, oh, Cleveland did this to save this rapist all this money. And they don't even get the ignorance of what they're saying. It benefits them more to pay him less than what they have established, which is their traditional way of handling these big money contracts.
Can I say one more thing?
Please.
You just brought it to my remembrance. Be careful who we listen to.
Right.
Be careful who we listen to because there's a national pundit. I won't say his name. Arthur Smith. Okay, Arthur Smith, and he's with FTQO. Okay, yeah, FTQO. Arthur Smith. Okay.
Gotcha.
And I just saw him about an hour ago, which was 12:15 Eastern Time, 11:15 Central, saying that the deal hasn't been official yet because Deshaun Watson hasn't signed it because he's still on the practice field. He's still on the practice field. He's still on the practice field. Well, the Browns don't practice until 1 p.m. Central today. Actually, every day the Browns practice at 1 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Eastern. So how was he on the practice field at 12:15 Eastern when they don't practice for another hour and 45 minutes after that? But people will hear that from Arthur Smith and roll with it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm done.
No, I mean, it's just the truth. And that's why I don't get impressed by check marks. I don't get impressed by number of followers. I don't even get impressed by the call letters or, resumes anymore. I did some copy and pasting of a colleague of mine when I put out my breaking alert. And my first thought was, oh, man, that's plagiarism. I made the phone call and said, yo, do you mind if I did that? He said, okay. And then I thought, shit, Adam Schefter does. Why I gotta deal with my stuff? I'm sorry, did I cuss? My bad. No, I ain't.
It's your show. So
you know what I mean? I'm like, what? Why I gotta feel bad? And this dork doesn't feel bad. I'm sorry, man. Y'all, bro, you're right. Be careful who you listen to.
I like that FTQO. I like that. Yeah.
Willie, I can't let you get out of here without talking about the $7 billion.
We could have left that alone.
No.
We could have left that alone. Yeah, we could have left that alone. Yeah.
Okay, before we go, Willie, tell us about this $7 billion.
Hey, kudos to Kevin Warren, man. Number one, Kevin Warren, since he took this job as Big Ten commissioner, has been getting hammered. And kudos to him and his team for negotiating this. Starting July 1, 2023, Big Ten will have TV deals across 5 platforms: CBS, Fox. Well, let's back up. Who pays the bills? Fox, CBS, NBC, Peacock, and so that they are going to have $1.2 billion in revenue to the conference per year for the 7 years of the deal, whereas most recent numbers, Big Ten schools were getting $54.3 million per school per year. Under the terms of the new deal, I believe it's $75 million per year.
A little bit of a raise. They got a little increase.
Little bump.
Yeah.
Little bump.
Yeah.
Little
Hey,
bump.
hold on, real quick, Willie. Real quick. Did anybody check with Scott Frost to see if he was okay with this deal? Because
Come on, man.
I mean, we got to check with Scotty and make sure he's good because Scotty will be like, "We gonna play, we gonna do what we want to do, and the Big Ten better not do nothing about." Did we check with Scotty to see if he good?
Oh yeah, Mr. Gibson. Add to that. Have you heard any of those folks congratulate Kevin Warren and give him props for this deal? Have you heard it? Those, the same folks who he needs to be fired. Have you heard any of those from those same folks today, sir?
Scott Frost.
Very few, if any, so far. I have, but other than me, I can't say that I have. Can't say that I have.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to play chess all by yourself. Sometimes you got to play chess all by yourself. Some people play checkers by themselves. Sometimes you got to play chess all by yourself. Willie, tell everybody where they can find you and follow you, my brother.
Appreciate you, boss. Will Gibson 7, Twitter, Instagram, Will Knows on Facebook. Folks Talking Sports this Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central. Fresh off the road, Browns, Eagles preseason game this Sunday at 1. So to be fresh off the press, and myself, the OG, KG, Kris Gardner, Andy Yanez, the youngster of the crew. Can I call it? Is he younger than Andy? Yeah, he's younger.
Yep, he is. Yep.
Yeah, he's younger than Andy, the youngster of the crew. So it'll be all of us Sunday evening. So it'll be good. It'll be good.
All right, Willie, appreciate you. Thanks for making time last minute to jump on and help this stuff make sense, brother. We appreciate you.
Great job, Willie.
Making time for me.
Oh, brother, you already know. You know the deal.
Appreciate it.
All right, man. Okay. Hey, I had to get him on, man, because nobody closer to it than him. He's
no doubt, man.
At those practices and what have
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Let me go back to Al High Casual Highlight, also part of the BS3 network. So Deshaun's first game back will be against the Texans. The NRG will be the only time this season the game will be sold out. Yeah, more than likely. And they're going to try to outdo everybody. They're going to try to be as vulgar and as nasty as they could possibly be. There's going to be a lot of Cleveland Brown jerseys in there because a lot of folks still rock with Deshaun. King Dog says, crown me. Check. Yeah, he know the deal. He know the deal. Cold Sports, good stuff, Willie. All right, let's take a quick break. I want to come back and I want to switch gears with you, Kris. We'll do that next. Hey, y'all saw my sizzle reel. It is as a result of this one right here.
If you're looking for a sports program that gives you the flavor.
Washington Commanders? Really?
This whole thing stinks to high heaven.
That pulls no punches.
Thuggish act by a thuggish actor.
That gives you some humor.
Praise everything LeBron does and never criticize it.
If you want a show that gives you good times, then this is that show. BS3 Network proudly presents.
I am Cole Johnson and welcome to
Cold Sports with a Z. Every Friday on Patreon and every Saturday on YouTube, Spreaker, and all other outlets.
Hello, my name is Laura Williams here in the new car sales department at Bayway Cadillac of the Woodlands. We've got a lot of great deals going on for the month of August. Right now, only $589 a month for a 36-month lease on an XT6. You can find that and so many great deals here at Bayway Cadillac of the Woodlands.
All right, I want to thank Laura Williams for joining the Lunch Break family. She's been a good friend of mine for a long time. You need a good, dependable vehicle, quality, class, and a great deal. You got to get on over to Bayway Cadillac of the Woodlands. Nobody does it better than my friend Laura Williams. Cold Sports, man, is just el fuego. Man, that's caliente. That's cayenne. That's Louisiana hot. That's a little Tabasco with a Carolina Reaper in it, brother. I'm telling you, that's hot. That's hot.
That was nice, man. Y'all stepping up the game, and I'm gonna say this: we're trying to step up our game too, and we got some folks who appreciate that we have stepped up our game, and I want to see how much they appreciate us stepping up our game,
bruh. I'm gonna tell you what I tell my friends. I appreciate you. Give me blah 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 blah. You got a commercial? All right, I'll play your commercial. You got something you want me to promote? I'll play that. But show me how much you support. And I got to be honest, man. I got some real good friends that really do, man. I got to give love out to Dr. Alexia McClurkin Johnson, the sports and wellness doc. They got a big back to school deal going on. If you suffered a slip and fall, if you had an injury on the job, if you have been a part of a car accident, or if you just need a good adjustment before you go back to school, they do adults, they do children, and they even do infants. So go to the sportsandwellnessdoc.com. Tell her AJ sent you. She's gonna say, my big brother. So anyway, yeah, man, get that help. get that help, tangible help, tangible.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Because give me a minute, bro. Just a minute. Put me on the clock. Time me if I take too long.
Go ahead.
I got an email. We did our show this past Sunday. Got an email Monday from a U8 alum. He said some of the stuff we talked about the lack of support from U8 alums at football games, etc. Really struck a nerve with him. He wrote a detailed email. I mean, detailed. I turned his email suggestions into a blog post titled regarding lack of support at the University of Houston. All kinds of feedback from alums, got likes, posts, retweets, all this kind of stuff. Heard from an alum, keep your foot on the neck, man. Great job. Okay. Y'all know where we are. Folks Talking Sports. Y'all know who we are. I'm just saying. We do this and can do it bigger. If y'all gonna come through with some support.
Yeah.
We got more plans. We got more things in store. I'm just saying. I'm
just gonna humbly submit unto you that you embrace the women's basketball coach over there, one of the greatest guys ever. And to
that point, I reached out yesterday because they announced a non-conference schedule. I replied back to inquire, will there be a media availability with Coach to discuss the non-conference schedule? Looks like it'll be tomorrow. So media session with the coach to discuss the non-conference schedule. You
tell my brother I said hey. You tell him I said hey.
We'll see if he responds to any of my questions.
Well, hold on. Let me send it. Look, Kris is going to be at your media availability. I told him to tell you I said hey.
That's fine.
Kris Gardner, Houston Roundball Review. I cannot let you get out of here without talking about Kevin Aloysius Durant. I cannot. One thing I'll give him credit for, when Bleacher Report went too doggone far and tried to say that he was going to retire rather than play another game for Brooklyn, Kevin came out of silence and said, that's the biggest bunch of crap I've ever heard. I can appreciate that. I can respect that. Bleacher Report makes up crap all the time. Tell me what you know. Tell me what you think. Tell me what's happening.
As long as KD shows up training camp, I'm good. Because, and it is important, and let me say this, heard this from ESPN's Bobby Marks. Superstars have asked, demanded, requested trades for years. That's part of what they do. Okay, so KD doing that, it's not much difference. The biggest difference is he's got 4 years left on his contract.
Right.
Okay. But if he does not show up to training camp, then he's kind of making the players look bad to the owners, because the owners will be like, look, first it was Ben Simmons not coming to training camp. Now Kevin Durant not coming to training camp. We're going to fix this.
Yeah.
So just come to training camp, get those checks. Just keep getting those checks. But my man was smart. His agent was smart too. By October 1st, he will receive half his salary for this coming season.
I would be there, bro. I'd be in everything. I'd be I would tweak something, but I'd be in everything.
He got his first paycheck on August 1st.
Okay.
He already got a fourth of it. So he get another quarter come October 1st.
Yeah. I'm hearing Boston best position to absorb him. I'm hearing there's some interest in Philly. I went on a little bit of a rant earlier this week where I said, if I'm Jason Tatum and I know they want Jaylen Brown, I got to look at history. I don't have to say nothing to anybody. I got to look at, well, for some reason, it didn't work out with Russ. For some reason, it didn't work out with Draymond. And I'm using Draymond because that's who made the phone call to get him in there. And then for some reason, it's not working out with Kyrie. What makes me think it's going to work out with me? And I would say ownership, management, no, I don't want to do it.
That's a great question. We'll see if your favorite basketball general manager, Mr. Stevens, takes that advice to heart, because that's a great point. You know, for as talented as KD is, he has had some issues with teammates and things have gone astray.
Yep.
So Folks need to acknowledge that. See, that's why I respect you, brother, Willie Gibson. We ain't the national folks. We tell it like it is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
KD's had issues. James Harden's had issues. But a lot of y'all out there nationally, y'all choose to look the other way.
Yeah.
Well, we don't do that.
Yeah.
On our platforms.
Yeah.
So that's a great point. And we'll see if Jason Tatum says, we got a young core here.
Right.
We're going to be good
right.
when he's done playing.
Right.
So just look what we got.
Right. If I'm Joel Embiid, I'm saying the same thing. Let us figure out what we got and try and make that work before we try to bring that in. And by the way, that's got a little mess on it. I don't know if I want my career in those hands.
Yep. And the thing is, some teams are beginning to think that way. Brooklyn gave this man everything he wanted.
Right.
And he still wants out. So what makes us think he won't do it the same way after a year?
Yeah.
So that's all right. We good.
Yeah. Look, I say on Sunday mornings, I might not be everything I'm supposed to be, but thank God Almighty, I'm not everything I used to be.
Yes.
So yeah, you might not be where you want to be with him, but baby, thank God you won't have him right now because he ain't quite figured out what he wants. Kris Gardner. All right. Any changes with U of H men? Are they still one of the top teams in the country?
Yes. He added a backup big man, Darius, Sudarius. His legal name is Sudarius.
Okay.
He goes by Darius now, from mid-major program over in Carolina. Backup big man. There's more to the story there that I know that I won't publicize for why he's on the team. He's a veteran. He's a grad student, so he's experienced, which is one thing the front court is lacking is experience. Not talent, but experience. So, and I heard some other news. So, men's basketball team is loaded.
Okay.
Front court and back court. Brother, I'm going to mention this to you. You let me know if you got the emails about it. There was an event, a press conference today at Ion, downtown on Main, to announce let me get it right, a business class for the 4 host schools, UH, HBU, Rice, and TSU, for the 2023 Men's Final Four. It's the business of major sporting events will be taught at the Ion over the span of 2 semesters and will provide students with a unique, first-of-its-kind format that combines classroom experience and field work, focusing on the planning surrounding the Men's Final Four, which is taking place next spring in H-Town, 2023. So, yes, there were students from HBU, UH, Rice, and TSU. I saw and spoke to Jordan Carl Nicholas.
Okay.
One of those students, TSU
Okay.
basketball player.
Yep.
Rice women's basketball player, Ashley Austin, who interned this summer. She spoke at today's press conference. And let me tell you this, man. This is where youngsters are thinking today, okay, in this generation. Ashley was scheduled, okay, to speak today at the press conference.
Mm-hmm.
She saw me ahead of time and she said, I see you on Twitter. I want to make sure who you are. And so we talked, and I was like, Ashley, are you speaking? Did you tell your coach you're going to talk today? No. She's like, I guess I should have, huh? And I was like, what?
Hilarious. But I look at the innocence of it as opposed to, something else. But I love it. I love this young generation, man. I do.
So I recorded part of her talk and posted on Twitter. So her coach retweeted it.
Oh, that's what's up. Before we go, what about TSU? What's Johnny Jones do across the street to be Johnny Jones and the TSU Tigers again?
They got 4 home games on non-conference. TSU alums. Let me hear that. Let me say that again. TSU men's basketball got 4 home games non-conference. Women's basketball got 3 home games non-conference. You know how long it's been since that happened? I think on the men's side, been like 20 years.
Yeah.
To have that many home games non-conference for TSU.
Yep.
And one of those home games is against a Pac-12 school. Big time program. Arizona State will come to town to the H&PE non-conference Rice women will be playing UH December 10th at Rice. So it's a good mix. TSU men will be playing UH.
Yeah.
As part of the Cougar Classic as well. So I'm waiting to talk to Coach Jones and Coach Skeet about the non-conference. Hopefully the next few days we'll get that done. But yeah, football season is here, which means basketball season is around the corner.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Kris, appreciate you as always, man. Tell everybody where they can find you, follow you, and all the great work that you do.
Follow me on Twitter. You can see that at VHR Review, Houston Roundball Review on Instagram, Houston Roundball Review on YouTube, website HoustonRoundballReview.com. Been around since 1994. I'm going to come back to the tagline in a second. As brother man Willie Gibson touched on it, we've got a show coming up this Sunday, Folks Talking Sports, featuring him and Yanez, James Mueller, and myself. Got a guest lined up. I'm going to stir the pot again. We'll see if she comes through. So she's known to folks in this area. So just tune in, Folks Talking Sports, 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern. Available on Twitter at Folks Talk Sports, as well as on Houston Roundball Review on YouTube. Wrapping it up, Houston Roundball Review since 1994. Local name, global perspective.
Love it, brother. Love you too. I will call you in just a few minutes, okay?
All right, man. Thanks a lot.
All right, man. Cole, I got to get enough nerve up to invite you on the show with me, Kris, and Willie Gibson, man. That would be a great show. We would definitely be blessed by you, man. So we will definitely be reaching out to you, man. I think I got enough nerve to invite you. I'm a little scared, and you might tell me, man, please, what are you talking about? So anyway, let me get ready to get out of here. I'll be back tomorrow for Freestyle Friday. I'll be actually broadcasting from a remote location. So I'll be doing a little bit of traveling. Got a little JM&E stuff to do. So you all take it easy. We'll see you tomorrow. And don't forget, let's not be divided. Let's be united. I truly do love you. There is nothing you can do about it except meet me here tomorrow for Freestyle Friday. All right, y'all. Let me go out with Sybil Wilkes. And because my man is right there, he did this for me, y'all. He did this for me.
Are you looking for something to do on your lunch break? Well, there's a show on the BS3 network that has only 4 words to say to you.
We ready. We ready. We ready for y'all. We ready. We ready.
The Lunch Break with AJ, powered by JM&E. Live weekdays at noon Central.
Wilkes with what you need to know. Today is Thursday, August 18th, 2022. Number 1. When the NBA announced the complete game and national television schedules Wednesday, fans may have noticed a significant change in the month of November. No NBA games will be played on Election Day, Tuesday, November 8th. Following the last 2 years of increasing social justice involvement, the Professional Basketball League is stepping up to bring attention to this year's midterm elections, and that includes once again in the opening of many of their arenas for voting as well. Number 2. California has become the first in the nation to require state agencies to include a separate category for descendants of enslaved people in its collection of employee data. The bill was initially introduced by Assembly Member Kris Holden, but was ultimately folded into the state budget and signed into law this year. The language in the budget directs state agencies to implement the mandate by 2024. The mandate coincides with the work done by the state's first in the nation task force on reparations, which is finalizing its second report after releasing an interim report on the state's systematic abuse of Black people. Number 3, the NFL is looking and acting like it's essentially back to normal. Going into its third season, dealing with COVID-19. There are no more trailers or tents for testing, and masks are rare. In fact, the protocols devised and tweaked by the league and the NFL Players Association in 2020 and 2021 were suspended last month. The NFL seems to be following the lead of the CDC, which dropped social distancing and quarantine requirements last week. Number 4, according to New York City police, a 58-year-old white man named John Borzimato has been charged with a hate crime after pulling a knife on 3 black men and 1 white man on August 10th. The group just parked their car by a fire hydrant after returning from a day at the beach when an intoxicated Borzimato wielded a knife while yielding racial slurs. Borzimato was charged with menacing as a hate crime in the 2nd degree, menacing in the 2nd degree, criminal possession of a weapon in the 4th degree, and harassment in the 2nd degree. Number 5, student mental health reached crisis levels last year, and the pressure on schools to figure out solutions has never been greater. Districts across the country are using federal pandemic money to hire more mental health specialists, roll out new coping tools, and expand curriculum that prioritizes emotional health. Despite the unprecedented funding, schools are having trouble hiring counselors, mirroring the shortages in other American industries. Here's your daily inspiration from Yogi's Jewels. An open mind and a good heart can lead to a healthy lifestyle. All right. Join me today live on YouTube and Facebook at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central with J. Anthony Brown. Will he or won't he? As we discuss today's top headlines and more. Thank you to our What You Need to Know partners, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated and the American Heart Association. To subscribe to my free daily newsletter, please visit SibylWilkes.com. Be informed, be empowered.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.